complicated chapters because the rest are introduction, etc. The issues which are discussed are close to 24 or 25. Please note that. We have a canvas as diverse as Citizens' Charter and Grievance Redressal Mechanism, where while we have said that qualitatively, since it is different, bad governance is not necessarily corruption. It should be under a separate entity, but we have given it constitutional status. We have argued that these should be the contents and the essential principles of a citizens' grievance redressal mechanism. Very strong observations are there. I have indicated that there are many firsts in this report. First time ever in independent India. Number one, I am only giving you an illustrative list. There is a very large number of things here. We have for the first time made a recommendation for a specific statutory provision, not just saying so or judgment saying so, a law which says that the CBI shall not be subject to anyone's control, interference, etc. on the merits of the investigation. We have said for the first time, and that means either the ministry or the Lokpal. It shall not be subject to either the ministry or the Lokpal. The law will say so if our recommendation is accepted. Second, we have separated investigation by the CBI from prosecution, which is desirable to create in both investigation and prosecution. Thirdly, we have created a selection committee which for the first time has, among others, a joint nominee of 3 constitutional post holders. The Chief Election Commissioner, the Comptroller Auditor General of India and the UPSC Chairman will together select one nominee for the selection committee. Fourthly, Lokayuktas, as you know, there are about 17 enactments around the country, and Lokpal will both be part of one single enactment, and we have given reasons why that is constitutionally valid and permissible. Fifthly, we have given constitutional status both to Lokpal and to the grievance redressal body. Sixthly, we have, and this is very important, abolished all sanctions for prosecution by whatever name called. As you know, there is a sanction, the Prevention of Corruption Act, prior sanction as they call it, no more. There is a sanction under the Delhi Special Police Act, the so-called CBI Act, no more. And we have suggested that while A and B classes shall be under the Lokpal, C for the first time shall be under the CBC. And also for the first time the CBC shall file 3 monthly reports to the Lokpal on the action taken in respect of C-class employees. This is only 6 examples I have given, there are many more. On the issue of Prime Minister, we have very clearly said that there are 3 models, all of which we consider important. No model is frivolous or vexatious. The model of full inclusion, but with subject matter exclusion and with safeguards. The model of full inclusion, but prosecute after he demits office, what I have called the deferment model. And the model of absolute per se no inclusion. All of this had resonance in the committee. So in a bid to be extra fair, we have included all 3 and left it to the wisdom of Parliament. On members' conduct, vote and speech within Parliament, we have said that census changing 105 article, and so long as that article stands in the Constitution, it is futile to suggest that that conduct, vote or speech in Parliament shall be policed by anyone except Parliament itself. But we have pointed out that it is not as if Parliament doesn't police. Only recently, for bribes of 5 or 10,000, alleged bribes of 5 or 10,000, members were permanently expelled. And all the conduct of members and their speech outside Parliament is covered. We have, as I said, after detailed constitutional arguments, pointed out that since this is a law enacting an international treaty against corruption, it will have the protection of Articles 253 and 254 of the Indian Constitution, and under that it can provide in a single enactment for both state Lokayukts and Lokpals. On the lines, as you know, inter alia of the National Human Rights Commission and State Human Rights Commissions, or partly even the Consumer Protection Act, State and National Commissions, or partly even the RTI Act. And we have considerably reduced the punitive measures of punishment or fine for false and frivolous complaints to accepted norms within the Contempt of Courts Act, considerably reduced from what was proposed. We have suggested a mandatory search committee, and most importantly, we have suggested mandatory reservation on the search committee up to 50% for marginalized sections of society, women, OBC, SC, ST, minorities and so on. The selection committee itself is a unique suggestion. The heads of each of the three organs of state, the head of the executive Prime Minister, the head of the judiciary Chief Justice, the head of the legislature Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha are 4 members of the committee, of the selection committee, But the fifth is a very interesting innovation, as I said, a joint selected nominee of the of the CAG, the CEC and the UPSC chairman.